honest.
everything. It's your lifestyle. And it's really sad.
And they don't even know what they're doing.
That's true. And speaking of lifestyles, we got to talk about the coronavirus. And, like, how do you guys feel about that? Are you guys a little more uneasy this time?
If I'm being honest with you, watching, like, I've seen videos of doctors talking about it and seeing, like, this isn't even the worst of the worst. Mm-hmm. And people that have died, like, from my knowledge of seeing, they've been older because their immune systems are weaker. Mm. And I'm just like, okay. Like, yeah, it's spreading, but should I really be, like, scared?
I feel you.
Know? Like, because I'm young, my immune system is better. So, I'm just like...
She's doing, like, deductive reasoning, like,
like,
I might make it.
And, like, knowing in my head, like, this isn't the worst of the worst. Like, Ebola was worse than this.
That's true. Well, I gotta bring in, since I'm the Afrocentric dude on campus, like, saw the article and they're like, for some reason, it's not killing a lot of people in Africa. And people on Twitter are like, did you want it to ravage Africa or what? It's like...
Can I say this?
It's like, what's wrong with y'all?
Okay, someone in one of my class group chats, what they were playing around, they said, oh, you got the corona. And someone said, oh, I thought it didn't affect black people.
What? Wow.
I seen that. And I'm just
like lice, huh?
Right?
Like how lice doesn't affect black people.
I was worried. I was really worried.
Our generation. We got a lot of work to do. But we do have an expert. And I'm going to call in right now. It's our advisor, Angel. And she knows a lot more about medicine in general because she does research at Tulane.
Hey.
Hi, Angel. You're on podcast now. And I just wanted to... So we have Amber here. We have Antasia here. Everybody say hi.
Hey.
How are y'all?
Hey.
We're doing all right. How are you?
Good.
And we just wanted to get your expert opinion on coronavirus. We kind of talked about how we feel that, Tasia kind of shared that she feels that older people are more susceptible to it and that perhaps we are better off at fighting it because of our immune systems. And we talked about how the reports about how in Africa they were pretty low and how people were surprised about that. And now we just want to get your perspective.
Okay, what about my perspective? Just like what I think about all of it?
Yes.
Okay, so so first things first, like most viruses in general usually disproportionately affect old people just because they're immunocompromised in many ways. So that's that. But of course we love our grandparents, so it's not like a relief either.
Yeah.
But what I will say is I have a lot of good people that I work with on a daily basis, and they're not freaking out. So my best advice to people is always just to be calm, because like if your infectious disease physicians are not freaking out, then that's probably a good indication that we will be okay. So I think that's like number one. I do see some panic. I do see a lot of people like trying to buy all the hand sanitizer in the world and all the gloves.
Yeah.
And the mask. So when it comes to the mask, I definitely don't encourage people doing that because first of all, they don't help healthy people anyway. But on top of it, you're causing not y'all, but people could cause a shortage in the market. So that's one of my biggest things is like, don't buy masks.
And I also heard that hand sanitizer really doesn't do anything also.
Okay, so it depends. Like hand sanitizer, if it's antimicrobial, does do things, right? Because that's like your viruses and your bacteria and a couple other groups of pathogens. So it's still useful. It's just there's a lot of studies out there that show that like you don't want to overuse it. So the best thing to do is wash your hands. Plus, a lot of people don't properly use hand sanitizer anyway, and so that reduces its effectiveness also.
All right. That's true. Got some expert advice for first time on Studio 771.
I didn't know you had a way to do it.
What'd you say?
I didn't know you had a way to properly use hand sanitizer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there is. Like, there's actually, so just like with hand washing, there's a certain amount of time that you're supposed to do it. Some people, I think, just like throw it on instead of like properly getting it around your hands. And then there's, I think, a period of time where you're not supposed to touch other things. Because it's like sticky and bacteria would land just right back on your hands.
That makes sense, actually.
I'm a hand washer. I don't even worry about hand sanitizer.
That's true.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not sure if you have time, Angel, but we did speak about the elections, and I know you are also very well versed in politics.
Yeah.
And if you have time, would you want to share your opinion about how all these people dropped out the election and now we just have Bernie and Biden?
I'm actually very depressed, so I don't have like any intelligent professional assessment. I'm just bummed. Like, I do love Bernie, but I'm sad that we started off with like this super diverse group of people, and now we just have 2 old white guys.
That's
so
true.
that kind of sucks. But I love Bernie. I don't know. I'm worried. I think his big moment to have his revolution was in 2016, and now people have created enough narratives to kind of knock down the whole possibility. So I hear a lot of people saying, I just want to survive. I don't want a revolution. And in my head, it's like, just surviving doesn't work for us, especially our people, especially for Black people, you know? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see what happens. I'm hoping Bernie can pull through, but like I was having a conversation with some people a couple of days ago, it's really on his campaign to reach out to Black people. And if they just don't feel him, they just don't feel him. And that's on his campaign. So that's where I stand with it.
That's true. Well, thank you for calling in, Joe. And
no problem.
Hope you have a good day.
You guys are awesome. Keep being amazing.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
And now I got to get into the business of this wonderful organization that we are. I got to talk about the social justice cohort. And we have a couple initiatives just to update our listeners. So our homophobia podcast is going along beautifully. And we got 2 episodes in. So we interviewed Desmonte first, and then we interviewed our friend KJ. And what I took from these interviews is respect. The one word to summarize all of this is respect and human rights. You know, and I explained to him that my culture in Rastafari doesn't agree with homosexuality just because of our views of man, woman, child, is life, and yada, yada, yada. But what I do sympathize or I empathize with is human rights. As a Black man and the history as a Black person, we were persecuted just for the color of our skin. And now we see our brothers and sisters who are also Black being persecuted just for their sexuality. And the conversation evolved from talking more of comparing it to a religious tolerance standpoint to just human rights, because you shouldn't be tolerating anything. It shouldn't be something you have to tolerate, because these are just people who are born the way they are. And it's like saying racial tolerance. White people don't need to tolerate us. They need to just accept that we're equal to them. And it's the same way within homosexuality. So that's what I've gotten out of this podcast experience. And then we're going to move into our 3rd episode, and we'll have Desmonte and KJ sit down with me. And that will be the time where I have to be the asshole, and I have to be devil's advocate. And the whole time I just got to just take what I've heard from everybody saying against LGBTQ and say it pretty much. And it's going to hurt because I'm not hateful like that. But I got to be a good journalist. I got to be a good person within the media and actually do my job, unlike some people. And also with social justice, we're going to move into sexual harassment and assault. Because what I've noticed is that within the HBCU world, especially Southern University, sexual harassment and assault is an issue, a big issue, that pisses me off, frankly. Because I know too many people who have been affected by it. And the school has done things to, I wouldn't say prevent, but they've had workshops.
They put a Band-Aid over a bullet hole.
Pretty much.
If we're going to be real, they just put a Band-Aid over a big bullet hole.
What do they call it? Campfire things? When they go into the dorms. They only had 2 little
dorm rates?
Yeah, they only had 2 little sessions where everybody come meet in bowling and we're going to talk about sexual assault.
We're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to sing a little lullaby, and we're going to let you all go to bed.
And then in each bathroom, it's just like a poster.
I was just about to say that. I have a picture of the sexual assault poster, and it says... So it's a big poster. It says sexual assault. And it says to report. It says Dean of Students. And it just has where the Dean of Students is located. Has the number SUPD. Has the housing address and human resources. And then it just says get to a safe place. Do not shower or bathe. Contact authorities and get medical attention. But to me, also it puts all the services where you can go. But that's not enough for me. It's not enough because... you can go to these services, but I feel like you're not holding accountable the people who are harassing these, majority women on campus. And I know, there's a few instances where males probably do get assaulted and harassed, but let's be real, it's mainly women on campus who are targeted. And right now, I'm speaking to all the brothers on campus. You're talking to me right now. This is Charles Barjon. I'm a weak dude. I'm a skinny dude. But if I see you messing with one of these people, you can expect to see me because that's ridiculous. You want to be a man. You're a boy. You're being a boy. You're in college. You're at a university. And I wish I could name call people, but you're in the university. It's time to be a man. Time to be a gentleman. And that's also synonymous with our podcast yesterday, talking to KJ about being a gentleman, walking on the side of the street, making sure your girlfriends get to their dorms safely. Because for some reason, we still have little boys running around this campus who like to throw trash out the third floor of their dorms, and they also like to harass females for no reason. They like to harass women, not females, women. You know, they want to harass women. And
it's so surprising.
It's pissing me off. I'm starting to sweat because I'm getting real mad because I really don't understand it. Like, are you that vulnerable as a man and that insecure with yourself that you can't just talk to a woman and see if she's interested in you? And if she's not, walk away.
And it's crazy to think guys really don't, like, think about that, you know?
But it's time to end rape culture.
It is.
You know how many times we listen every year of fall semester, oh, fresh meat. Fresh meat around Pretty Wednesday.
That's true.
It's time to end it.
It's just like a respect thing. Like, I feel like now you should, like, guys, why don't you respect women, you know? Like, I think it's getting kind of played out and kind of old.
It really did.
You know, like you said, like, standing on the side of the sidewalk, you know? No offense, my boyfriend will cuss me out if I stand on the right side of the sidewalk.
Literally. Like, what are you doing over there?
And I'm
Move.
just like... And I'm just like, I feel like that should be a given, you know? Like, just wanting to respect women. Like, what gives you, like...
Go out of your way to open the door.
Like, what are you getting out of not respecting women? Like, are you getting clout from your other guy friends that don't do it? So it's just like, bro, like, who? No. Like,
and check it out.
Better.
And it's not... And you already have some of those dudes who are like, we live in a time where women want to be so empowered and feminist, women is this, and they just want to be... So if they want to be that way, they can open their own damn door. No, dude. No.
I'm independent.
No.
I get it done, but hey, you can still open the door.
You to do it.
Like, right. I would love for you to still open the door for me, and I get it. And I'm just like, okay, thanks.
And the reason why I bring up the whole gentleman thing is because that's the foundation. Like, if you have no foundation on how to be an actual man, to be a gentleman, of course you're going to go off and start harassing and assaulting these women. These young women who are here for the same reason as you. Stop being so selfish. Not everybody's here with sex on their minds and relationships on their minds. And some people are really here just to get their education, just to get that 4.0, just to be on the dean's list, just so they can strive and be better and change their country, while you are sitting around being a sleazy horn dog. I can't do that.
Not even going to class. Going into debt with your parents' name on those freaking loans.
Wasting your parents' money.
Sitting in your room. Catcalling girls out your window on the sidewalk. And you're going into debt while doing it. Like, what's the point?
And that should be dead in 2020. Catcalling.
Should have been dead in 1908. You dig me? It should have never started. Like, it shouldn't. It should have never started.
Use that word, catcalling, is like, it's disgusting. Like, it's ill. Like, really, catcalling? Like, that's like on those old, like, black and white movies. Like, catcalling.
Literally. And the reason why I bring this all up is because we are hoping to partner with the West Coast Connection. We're still in talks. But if not, I'm going to do it by myself anyway. And we're going to have perhaps a podcast series and a demonstration. I'm going to work on having a demonstration with the social justice cohort of the SU 771 Alliance, where we walk this campus with signs or something. And we just bring light to the issue. It's all about shedding light to these issues, since nobody else is going to do it. And nobody else is going to do it, I will do it. And that's it for today. Any last remarks from you two?
I think it was good talks today.
We got to change the culture. It's
yes.
a culture shift.
Yes, like, exactly. I was going to say sustain the culture, because that's our hashtag, but let's not sustain this culture. There definitely is a culture shift. Thank you all for listening to Studio 771 Uncensored. It's Charles Barjon. Catch you guys next week. Peace.